welcome to Oweleketv News. I am Confident Oko. Thank you for joining us. And now the news headlines. Former Governor of Kano State calls out politicians who steal public funds. CJN urges judges assigned to the Presidential Election Tribunal not to succumb to blackmail. Outgoing Minister of Defense say over 80% success achieved in destroying Boko Haram. And in sports, Manchester United asks to pay £140 million to sign Victor Osimhen. Welcome back, and now the news in details. In a bid to stimulate and key in the small and medium enterprises in the country into the digital economy for viable sustainability, the Management of Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDEN, has sought the collaboration of sister agency, the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, to help in integrating owners of small businesses in the country into the digital economy. In a courtesy visit, the Director General SMEDEN, Oweleketv, said over 2 million businesses in the nano, micro, small and medium enterprises subsector died between 2017 and 2021 alone, pushing more than 6 million Nigerians into the unemployment market. In order to stop the trend, a technology-based approach is needed to save small businesses in the country. In response, the Director General of NITDA, Kashifu Inuwa Abdullahi, assured his counterpart of the full support of his agency to startups, established businesses and other members of the commerce community to key into the new technological innovations towards achieving a digital economy. While commending SMEDEN on its resolve to partner with NITDA, Abdullahi urged the team to adopt some of NITDA's operating models. The Niger Delta Development Commission applauded the House of Representatives for clearing the Commission's 876 billion naira budget for the fiscal year of 2023. The Managing Director of the NDDC, Dr. Samuel Boko, observed the House of Representatives' approval on Wednesday came after the Senate on Tuesday in an interview at the NDDC offices in Port Harcourt. He praised the House of Rep for swiftly debating and adopting the report of the House Committee on NDDC, which was presided over by Honorable Olubunmi Tunjojo. He said that this was done to avoid further burdening the residents of the area with delays. The budget's approval, according to the CEO of NDDC, marked a key turning point in the region's development. According to him, the funding would allow the NDDC to keep offering the residents of the area vital infrastructure and services. Boko expressed his happiness that the House had also granted President Muhammadu Buhari's request to extend the capital's budget implementation timeframe by 6 months from June to December 2023. The head of NDDC promised that the organization would work assiduously to guarantee that its projects were finished on time and to the highest standards, and that the funds allotted in the budget was spent wisely and in accordance with the law. In accordance with its 100 for 100 policy on production and productivity, the Central Bank of Nigeria has given recipients 173.31 billion naira since the intervention's commencement. Following the Monetary Policy Committee meeting, the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele said this in Abuja. The CBN established the maximum loan amount a participant might receive at 5 billion naira in accordance with the rules for carrying out the project. The CBN stated in the guidelines that the initiative would choose 100 private sector businesses with projects that have the potential to significantly boost domestic production and productivity, lower imports, boost non-oil exports, and generally improve the economy of Nigeria's ability to generate foreign exchange. The initiative, according to the Apex Bank, will be put into action in conjunction with key stakeholders with a focus on the micro and macroeconomic effects on GDP and exports, the creation of sustainable jobs, the growth of local content, production output and capacity utilization, as well as integration into the global value chain. Moving on, Bola Tinubu has promised on Thursday to address the nation's problems, including the electricity and security difficulties. President Muhammadu Buhari gave Tinubu the transition report, and he made a commitment not to let Nigerians down. He made the statement soon after receiving the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, the nation's highest honor, from the president, alongside Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima, who received the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger. The investiture ceremony was a part of the schedule of events for the 2023 presidential inauguration ceremony that was scheduled for Monday at the State House Conference Center of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Tinubu claimed to be aware of the honor bestowed upon him and his vice president-elect, as well as the magnitude of the work ahead. Regardless of whether Buhari retires to Daura or the Niger Republic, he pleaded with Buhari to respond to knocks at his doors. We'll now be going on a short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break. Major General Barshi Magashi retired. The outgoing Minister of Defense has disclosed the degree of success the armed forces has attained during its 4 years in office. He claimed that the military had destroyed the Boko Haram ISWAP insurgency, banditry and other criminal activity with a success rate of over 80%. Speaking at a farewell luncheon organized in his honor by Dr. Ibrahim Abubakar Kano, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Defense, Magashi claimed that all possible had been done to keep the country united despite the current security crisis. Speaking at the event, General Loki Irabo, the Chief of Defense Staff, praised the minister and said that he is a man full of wisdom and is specific about how he used these qualities to lead the armed forces. Vice Admiral Awal Gambo, Chief of the Naval Staff, described the outgoing minister as a steadfast, competent officer, an excellent administrator, and a tenacious soldier in his remarks. Barely 48 hours to the termination of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be sworn in as Nigeria's next president, Oweleketv correspondent Mike James Ode hit the streets of Kaduna to gauge the pulse of Nigerians, what they expect from the incoming administration.
98 hours for the administration of Muhammadu Buhari to elapse. Nigerians can't wait to welcome the incoming administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But the question on many people's lips are this: can Ahmed Tinubu deliver? Can he end the nepotism, corruption, bloodletting, economic deprivation that trailed the administration of Buhari? Oweleketv television will be taking a stroll down the streets of Kaduna to take the mindset of Nigerians about what they expect from the incoming administration of Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Come along with us.
If you look at the 8 years of General Muhammadu Buhari, you will see that there is nothing to show. Because in 2015, when he came into power, the prices of petrol is like 85 naira, 86 naira. But now we are buying at 210. Sometimes we buy 250. You can look at it that when he took over in 2015, the 3 NNPC, Kaduna, Warri, and Port Harcourt, all are working, but now they are no longer working.
But we are talking about Tinubu actually.
Yes, what I'm trying to demonstrate is that it is a continuation. The system has been corrupt, a status quo. So I don't think there is anything that will come out of Tinubu in these 4 years that is coming.
Nobody is actually doubting his credibility or his performance in terms of having something to do to improve the situation in this country from where it is. And also looking back at where he comes from, in Lagos where he has governed before, and looking at the impact he has made during his administration, one cannot outrightly condemn him for not having the capacity to put Nigeria on the right track. But what some of us are against is a process through which he came into the power. For those of us who really belongs to a realistic group of Nigerians, once the process for which you wrote into the power is faulty and is being challenged in the court of law, in tribunal at the moment, we cannot completely give in and say that he's going to do a lot of good things in Nigeria. There is this saying that if the foundation is faulty, the expectation is that the building or whatever will come upon that foundation is likely to be faulty.
Thank you very much, Mike. Moving on to other stories now. On Thursday, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, swore in 39 additional judges to hear the cases resulting from the country's general elections on February 15th and March 18th. The 39 judges joined the 307 judicial officers who had already been given the assignment, making a total of 346. During the event at the Supreme Court, the CJN emphasized the significance of the assignment and pleaded with the participants to resist temptations and extortion. The CJN stated that the judges were deemed qualified to be added to tribunals that had been burdened by an avalanche of petitions in the wake of the 2023 national elections. The CJN pointed out that the nation required peace at this crucial phase when administering the oath to the newly constituted Election Petition Tribunal justices. He cautioned them not to let sentiment and popular opinion compromise their sense of judgment. Judges need to keep in mind that the rule of law delayed is lasting peace denied because justice is a handmaiden of true peace, the CJN continued. The judges of the panel should have the courage and wisdom to carry out their responsibility without faltering or failing, Justice Ariwola said. In the past few days, President Muhammadu Buhari has been commissioning infrastructural projects across the country. The most notable ones are the Dangote refinery and the second Niger bridge, which was named after him. Impressed by what is going on, Hanan Buhari, daughter of President Muhammadu Buhari, showered praises on her father for the great fit. In fact, the mother of one described her father, President Buhari, as a silent achiever in a post via her Insta stories. Meanwhile, on social media, as expected, some Nigerians vehemently disagreed with Hanan's assertion that her father is a silent achiever. Within this week alone, President Buhari is expected to commission nothing less than 7 legacy projects, comprising 3 major bridges, 3 federal secretariats, and a road. Others are the local Oweleketv Bridge across River Benue to link Benue to Nasarawa State and the Econ Bridge in Cross River State, while the road project is the completed section of the over 200 kilometers of Kano, Kaduna Dual Carriage Expressway and 3 new federal secretariats, among others. All these happening in the twilight of his administration. Having created controversy by her praise for her father's achievements, Oweleketv decides to go to the streets to ask Nigerians if President Buhari is a silent achiever, as claimed by his daughter Hanan. We'll now be joining correspondent Omike Joseph Matthew as he engages the citizens in the conversation.
In the twilight of his administration, President Muhammadu Buhari has been commissioning a lot of projects. One of them is the second Niger bridge. The other is the Oweleketv bridge linking Nasarawa State and Benue State. And not forgetting the Zaria-Kano Expressway. And of course, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway that is supposed to be commissioned, but of course has not been commissioned by him. And a lot of people have said his administration has tried in that aspect. But there are those who believe that all this in just 8 years is not good enough. But the daughter Hanan has come out to say that he is a silent achiever. Oweleketv has taken to the streets to ask ordinary Nigerians what they think about the achievement of President Muhammadu Buhari. And we are asking them whether or not he is a silent achiever. Let's hear from them.
Buhari is a silent achiever, according to the daughter. Anybody, because she is the daughter, she can say whatever she likes to make, to improve the father. But even if you ask 100 Nigerians today, they will tell you that, yes, Buhari is not any good achiever. He has not achieved anything in this country. He has put in this country in a worst situation. Nigerians are suffering. Second Niger bridge we talked about, yes, he has done something there which he's supposed to do. There is no way you will get any president in this country now that he will not see 1 or 2 things he has done. But there are things we expected him to do, but he didn't do it. So saying he's a silent achiever, to me, he has not done anything to this country. He put this country in a very worse situation, and we expect him to do better than this, and which we pray the next government that is coming should do better.
There's a certain area that is supposed to project the policy of government there. But in terms to look at the agency like National Orientation Agency, they're supposed to project the activities of government. They have very weak performance in terms of doing that. When it comes to infrastructure development, I don't think since our independence, any government, apart from our first civilian government, any government has record in terms of infrastructure development record, has a record that this government did in terms of road bridges construction. And when it comes to area empowering our security agencies, empowering the military in terms of the equipment, this government had made a giant strike compared to the previous administration.
That's coming from the family. When you want to actually assess somebody, you should look at the wider society and look at the parameter by which she has made that statement. It's a bogus statement. It's a statement that has to be supported with facts. That he has gone to commission Dangote refinery, which is a private refinery. It's not a Nigerian refinery. It's a private individual refinery. You understand that? And then we're talking about Second Niger Bridge, which was actually started by Gullo administration, and then they took it up, and then it's finished up. Yes, we give credit to that. But we are talking about 8 good years. We are talking about 8 good years.
If you are making a comment on silent achiever, that one has to be for your house, not for Federal Republic of Nigeria. What we need to see something, not by silent achiever. President Buhari is never silent achiever. He has failed. Forget about whatever tricks they want to use. Silent achiever, how? This is not issue of between you and your wife. All we need to see is what you've done for Nigeria so far before you are leaving the government. Silent achiever. I don't believe it's a silent achiever.
And those were the opinions of Nigerians concerning the question whether or not President Muhammadu Buhari is a silent achiever. Well, time will tell whether all these projects that he is commissioning right now, the twin light of his administration, will be a project that will stand the test of time. For Oweleketv, I am Omike Joseph Matthew reporting.
Thank you very much, Omike. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the new Nigerian People's Party's presidential candidate and a former governor of Kano State, has urged politicians to invest in people rather than embezzle public funds. When he presided over Mohammed Bago's inauguration lecture in Mina on Thursday, he gave this advice. Bago is the incoming governor of the Niger State. The outgoing governor warned the incoming governor that if he did not make significant investments in security and education for the sake of Niger State, he would come to regret it. He also added that while effects from investments in education might not be seen right away, they will eventually materialize. He continued by saying that Bago must get started right away after being sworn in to ensure the socio-economic growth of the state if he is to be successful as a governor. He admitted many governors had failed, leaving their state with nothing after 4 or 8 years in office due to a lack of skill and understanding. Up next is international news after the break. Welcome back from the break. According to a U.S. official speaking to Reuters, President Joe Biden and top congressional Republican Kevin McCarthy are nearing an agreement that will lift the government's $31.4 trillion debt ceiling for 2 years while capping expenditure on the majority of things. The official, who asked to remain anonymous because they were not authorized to discuss internal discussions, said that the deal, which is not final, would increase funding for discretionary spending on military and veterans, while essentially maintaining non-defense discretionary spending at current year levels. And in sports, the English Premier League team Manchester United has been asked to pay £140 million to sign Nigerian international Victor Osimhen this summer after agreeing to a contract to sign his Napoli teammate Kim Min-jo, according to UK tabloid The Mirror. Following his fantastic performance for the Serie A champions this season, Osimhen has emerged as a top target for United this summer, and he currently tops the club's shortlist of strikers. According to The Mirror, the Devil Scouts watched Napoli Champions League match against Milan last month and have chosen him to be the attack's spearhead for the upcoming campaign. And just before we go, we bring you entertainment tidbits with Hadiza Galadima.
Thank you, Confidence, and welcome to Entertainment Tidbits. Afrobeat singer Seun Kuti jets out to Switzerland to kick off his Euro tour in Zurich amid police case. The singer, via his Insta story on Thursday, shared a picture of himself in a plane captured Euro tour kicks off tonight in Zurich. Senior advocates of Nigeria, Femi Falana, and Adeyinka Olumide Fushika, who are both his attorneys, said their clients Seun Kuti's travel amid ongoing police case is not illegal and unlawful, and their clients will always be available where required of him. Fast-rising rap star Odumodu Black declines offer to perform at the forthcoming May 29 presidential inauguration. The rapper, in a series of tweets, disclosed that he was approached by the presidential inauguration team to perform at the president-elect's inaugural event, but turned them down, saying they should have done their research before approaching him, signifying that he doesn't share the same value with the president-elect. That's it on Entertainment Tidbits. I am Hadiza Galadima. Over to you, Confidence.
Thank you very much, Hadiza. And that's it for the news on Oweleketv. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. Former governor of Kano State calls out politicians who steal public funds. CJN urges judges assigned to the Presidential Election Tribunal not to succumb to blackmail. Outgoing Minister of Defense says over 80% success achieved in destroying Boko Haram. And in sports, Manchester United asked to pay £140 million to sign Victor Osimhen. Please follow us on our YouTube channel if you haven't. It's at Oweleketv, and on all our social media handles at Oweleketv. Our website is oweleke.tv. Till I come your way next time with more interesting news, I am Confidence Oko. Thank you for watching.